Hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Murchison, and I hope you guys are all doing well today. You're probably wondering, why am I wearing this silly hat and these silly little leg warmers? Well, I thought it would be fun to dress up like a monster because I'm going to read you guys a book, and it's about monsters. But before I get to that, I wanted to remind you, since you're at home, you have all kinds of fun things, I bet, in your closet. You have old costumes. Maybe you have a silly hat or a fun tutu or a neat scarf. Or maybe your parents or maybe your brother and sister might have something that you can dress up in too. It's always fun to dress up. And so, I just wanted to remind you of that. And that's why I'm dressed like this today. And I think it goes really well with the book I'm about to read. It's one of my favorites, Where the Wild Things Are. And it was written by Maurice Sendak. The person that writes the story is I'm waiting, the author, that's right, kiss your brain. And the person that draws the pictures is called the illustrator. That's right, you guys are too smart. And I don't know if you noticed on this book or not, but it also has a medal. This book won the Caldecott Award for the best pictures for children. And so whenever we see this, you know it's got to be a great book with wonderful illustrations. So let's get started. This is the very front, and it shows some monsters, and it says the title, Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. And this is Max all dressed up. I wonder what kind of mischief he's up to. Let's see. And another, oh no! You should not be chasing the dog with a fork. I hope none of you do that because that's definitely not safe. His mother called him Wild Thing. And Max said, I'll eat you up. And so he went to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. And in and out of the weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. I see a wild thing right there. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roar their terrible roars. Can you guys roar with me? Roar, roar. And they gnash their terrible teeth. And they roll their terrible eyes. Can you roll your eyes? Good job. And they showed their terrible claws. Show me your claws with your hands. So what did they do? They roar their terrible roars. And they gnash their terrible teeth. And they roll their terrible eyes. And they show their terrible claws. Till Max said, be still. And he tamed them with a magic trick. And look how he did his arms. I want you guys to do it with me. Be still. Good job. And his magic trick was that he stared into all of their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all. And they made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus begin. Are all following Max in this picture? Let's see what a wild rumpus is. Oh my. Looks like they're jumping up and maybe they're howling at the moon. Can you guys howl? I bet you can. Oh! Are they howling at the moon? Maybe you can pretend to be in the wild rumpus too. And they're swinging from the trees. Oh my. And in this book, it looks like they're marching and stomping around, and Max is riding on one of the creatures. Now stop, Max said, and he sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. Oh no, without their supper? And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely. And he really wanted to be where someone loved him most of all. I wonder who that is. And then all around, from far away, across the world, he smelled good things to eat. And so he gave up being a king of where the wild things are. Let me show you. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." And the wild things roared their terrible roars, roar, and they gnashed their terrible teeth, and they rolled their terrible eyes, and they showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat, and he waved goodbye. And he sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. And the back of the book kind of shows the beautiful paradise that he was in, where the wild things lived. I hope you guys all enjoyed this book, and I'll see you next time. Bye.